All right, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News, presented by Papa John.
Yeah, make sure we get it right, Papa John.
Yeah, quite from before. So thank those guys for the food. You sure you don't want to make it, Brian? Sorry, that's your competitor, ain't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Is that why you don't want it?
They support a lot of us.
They do. I ain't gonna
Support
think.
them, I
Just can't support it.
Yeah. I support a lot of our competitors from Dunkin' Donuts and Papa John's.
Gotta thank our marketing partners. Want to thank Langley Speedway, Performance Plus Motor Oil, Safety Clean, Black Acid Apparel. If you need 1 shirt, 10 shirts, 1,000 shirts, those are the guys that take care of you. Factory Canopies. We got this nice tablecloth and these chairs, man. We don't let Jack sit in them, but these are nice chairs, you know.
Again, I let the guests have the seat. We can give it 2, so I let the guests have one.
Yeah.
Scott have one.
Right.
I've been thinking about that.
MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister. Did I say that right?
McAllister.
Got to thank her. Pepsi, Mountain Dew. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. Still waiting on Jack to bring the bottle back so we can have a little bit.
It's in the car.
Oh, okay. GAC, Great American Company. VA 811, which I guess it was 811 night last week or week before last? Week before last. NC 811. And Blackwater Station, if you want to get some food and some.
In Chase City, Virginia.
Chase City, Virginia.
All right, I'm gonna pass on the news for right now. So
Okay.
we'll do the Smith's Wraps and Graphics Racing Roundup in a little bit. But we got a guest already hanging by here, so we want to go ahead and get him on here. What an honor. Welcome John Schneider to our show, man.
Thank you.
This is a big deal for us.
Yay! Oh, come on.
We appreciate the time and effort for being with us today, man. I really appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome. I'm delighted.
All you're going through down there in Louisiana, I mean, I know that's kind of a hard thing to do.
Well, you just have to do it. There's we had a thought that maybe this latest hurricane, I don't remember its name, but there was a tropical storm brewing in the Gulf, and we thought that it might be coming this way. We got quite a bit of rain, but I think it stopped. I think we're going to be spared that. But we had a hurricane, a flood, and a Biden visit, and three natural disasters in a row. One of which certainly could have easily been avoided, but when you drive, I think Air Force One is shorter now than it used to be. I think there's a short Air Force One for this president.
Yeah, I can understand that. I go along with you on that one. John, you got a lot of stuff going on.
I believe in staying busy. I have a low battery. That means I need to plug my phone in. I believe in staying busy, and I also believe that a moving target is hard to hit.
You stay busy now. I got to give you that. You stay really busy. You got a lot going on. Tell us a little bit about, now I was talking with Barry about this the other day, talking about the Bose extravaganza. Tell us about what all goes on there, because that's a big deal. And we'd love to have you come here and do that.
Oh, I'd love to. We started by doing Bose extravaganza just here at the studio. And it's a big party we put on for my birthday every year. We have incredible food. We're in Louisiana. Right. Fantastic music. We have local artists. We also have Cody McCarver from Confederate Railroad comes in. Keith Burns from Trick Pony comes in. We've had Kid Rock here. We've had the Bellamy Brothers here. We've had Kix Brooks. So we do a big event over the weekend. We also have carnival rides and great stuff for the kids, all to encourage people to talk and enjoy one another's company. We're big believers in community, which is why I like dirt track racing so much. So what happened is many people said, well, I don't live anywhere near Louisiana. I can't get there. Why don't you consider bringing it to Missouri or bring it to Oklahoma, bring it to Tennessee? So that's what we're doing. Bring it to Georgia. So we've been bringing a small version of it to different places and to dirt track. So we've been racing dirt track in all the areas that we've been where we have a dirt track. So it's really pretty spectacular.
Now, how did you get tied into the dirt tracks? I hear you got a dirt car. You race dirt cars. I mean.
Oh yeah, my wife and I, but we both have dirt cars. We're open wheel modified, and somebody said about during the beginning of this pandemic, they said, "Hey, would you like to race dirt track? You want to run a dirt car?" And I said, "Sure." And they said, "How about Friday?" And most people are just full of crap when they say things like that. And I said, "Okay." So next thing I knew, this was Wednesday. Friday, I'm making a left turn in the dirt, and now I think maybe I've done only about 9 races, but I love it. I have so much fun.
You did Bull's Gap, right? I mean, that's where one of your.
Yeah, we just did Bull's Gap. Yeah, and I hit the wall.
All right, but did your wife?
She actually finished the race. My wife actually finished the race. So in theory, she won because she finished the race. But in my defense, they tell me that I was at the time that I hit the wall, and I hit the wall because somebody, the straightaways are very short at Bull's Gap. So I had somebody passing me. These folks have been doing it a long time. So somebody passed me on the inside and ran over my left front tire. And when they did, I was driving and I saw under their car and I thought, that's bad. But then they ripped the rubber off my rim. So I dug in and then smacked, and I was headed toward the wall. And I remember saying, that's worse. So I hit the wall and I was out, but I had so much fun. I was 8th. They tell me I was 8th. I started 15th, and I was 8th at the time at Bull's Gap. So
all right,
I'm proud of that.
All right, you won. You said you run 9 races. Now, how many times have you beat your wife? All 9 except the one.
No, we've only raced twice. First time she didn't finish because she got disqualified. And the second time I didn't finish because I only had 3 tires on my car.
So what you're telling me is you went out there and said you need to look at her car and get her disqualified so you can get the point. Get the.
No. She got disqualified all on her own.
Oh, okay.
She had 2 cautions. She caused 2 cautions, and you cause 2 cautions, and then they say, nope, that's it. She was causing her 3rd caution, and they said, you gotta go back to the pit area. But
I got a guy here that races and causes a lot of cautions too.
Good thing they don't have that here.
Well, yeah. So I don't know how it works in your race, but in our race, if you're not doing well, you can cause a caution, and then you bunch back up again. So you make up for, you're still in the same position, but you make up for all that space that you've lost. And they frown on that. They frown on using a caution as a, unlike the Democratic Party, they frown on cheating. The Democrats applaud it. They applaud cheating.
That's pretty good. I like that. Now,
well,
tell us about these 2 movies you've done. I know you've done one, and you got another one getting ready to come out.
Yes.
Stand On.
I'm so proud of these. Stand On It is a tribute to Smokey and the Bandit. I talked my way onto the set of Smokey and the Bandit and actually wound up in the movie just standing there, but I wound up in the movie. I didn't get arrested. I didn't get thrown out. I actually got a breakfast sandwich, so I count that as good payment. That was 1976, and Dukes of Hazzard happened, and years later, the director and writer of Smoking the Bandit was Hal Needham, great stunt guy. I worked with him. He and I became great friends, and so did Burt Reynolds and I. And we talked on many occasions about how what we call Southern horsepower comedy, which Dukes of Hazzard was, Smoking the Bandit was, Gator was, White Line Fever, Stroker Ace, Convoy, all these movies were Southern horsepower comedy. And they just all of a sudden went away. Yeah. So we talked about one day bringing that back. Well, 3 years ago last week, Burt passed away. Quite a number of years ago, Hal passed away. So I thought it would be a great thing to do for the now 61-year-old. Oh, interesting. 61, and I was 16 when I snuck on the set. and I seem to be the only guy that has the pedigree to be the guy behind the wheel of a badass car in a movie. Really.
Yeah.
Because nobody's buying. I mean, obviously, Fast and Furious, they're making a whole lot of money with that, but it's not comedy and it's not real. And you look at it and you go, okay, you just threw your cars out of the back of a C5A and you're going to drive them in Morocco. Come on, what kind of redneck are you anyway? So we made this movie. My wife and I made this movie, and basically it's John Schneider gets bet $500,000 he can't do for real what Burt Reynolds did for pretend in Smoking the Bandit. That movie has done really well for us. Folks, if you're interested, and I hope you are, you can get it at johnschneiderstudios.com, or you can get it at Cineflix, DOD. Just look up John Schneider, stand on it, and all the options will be there. And it did so well that we made a sequel to that, and that's called Poker Run. And just to piss off a liberal, that movie comes out on Orange Friday. I call it Orange Friday. It's the Friday after Thanksgiving. And I'm thinking about having Orange Friday be the first day in Orange History Month.
I like that idea. You got some good ideas.
Well, orange cars matter.
Hey, speaking of the orange cars, how many orange cars did you lose during that tornado? I mean, that hurricane. I saw some pictures.
Oh, I still know where it is, so technically I haven't lost it. Really just one. And that car was the car we used in a movie we did called Christmas Cars. Christmas Cars is a movie about a guy who was on a show that is loved by families all over the world, that all of a sudden becomes the universal sign of racism in the world. So it's very autobiographical, because all of a sudden on a Wednesday, the General Lee, to some very narrow-minded, very loud people, became the number one symbol of racism and division in America. So we made this movie called Christmas Cars. It is the total opposite of that. Family film, underdog. It's like a hour and a half episode of Dukes of Hazzard. But the only cast member in it is me and my buddy Byron Cherry, who actually replaced me in Dukes. He was Coy Duke. So we made that movie, and that's the car we used in that movie. It was the first General Lee I actually jumped. But for all you purists out there, it's actually a Crown Vic. There's an amazing video on YouTube called Crown Vic to General Lee. And there's a guy named James Smith, who's a fantastic stuntman. He worked on Stand On It as well. who actually built that car for me. And I jumped it in Christmas cars. I jumped it here in actually, no, I jumped it in Stand On It. So it means a lot to me, but it is not an actual 69 Charger. It is a stunt car. And we had a huge pecan tree. The car was parked under the pecan tree. Pecan tree fell over, lifted the car up, and then it fell down. And I can imagine the car went, whew! And then this pine tree went whack. Kind of like me when I saw the car and said, that's not good. And then I saw the wall and said, that's even worse.
You went through some stuff with that, didn't you? I mean,
oh gosh, yep.
So you lost that car, but didn't you at one point? Didn't you do some renovations on some cars? Didn't you do put a group of cars together or something of the General Lee?
I did. I put 4 Bose General Lee cars together. 3 to sell, 1 to keep. And the one I kept was the one that was on Mopar Collector's Guide. I raced it out of the Silver State Classic out of Ely, Nevada. I don't know if you know about that race or not, but it's a 90 mile on a county road, fast as you can go race. Lots of fun. But then one thing led to another, and I wound up selling that car too. So that was the car that supposedly went for $9 million on eBay. It did not go for, sadly, it did not go for $9 million. But I did sell it at Barrett-Jackson for a good amount of change for a 69 Charger. But that was one god-awful marriage ago. That was jail time ago. So now my incredible wife that I make these movies with, we make the movies together. For my birthday 3 years ago, she got me a gorgeous General Lee that's sitting outside right now. It's not the one that got hit by the tree. It's got a 2017 SRT8 in it. It's basically a brand new. If they were to make a 69 Charger today, it's brand new. It's just fantastic. So I went from someone who was like, "What is that?" to someone said, "I love you. Here's a wonderful car like the one you drove on the show." So I've done very, very well. I'm a happy guy. Yeah, and she races dirt track. She produces movies, she races dirt track, and she plays golf.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
I don't know. The only thing I would ask for other than that is for Gavin Newsom to take a hike. I don't know what's happening out there.
Or maybe get Biden to resign. Jeff?
Well, I would demand it. I would demand it, but I don't think he's listening. And if he was listening, he would forget. I believe actually I'm talking to a lawyer friend about maybe we can file a class action suit. Not a joke, truly file a class action suit against Joe Biden for defamation of the United States of America's character. I know an individual can do that to someone else, and this debacle, this embarrassment, this travesty of a leaving Afghanistan, that this clown has the audacity to call a victory, is the single most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to the United States.
I agree.
And we lived through Obama.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I'm gonna change.
Now I thought we had what George W. did, who was a friend of mine. I lived in Texas. What he said the other day is unforgivable, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm a Christian, supposed to be a forgiving person, but I have to draw a line somewhere. This was bad. This was a bad thing to say. People who love America people who love America are more of a threat to America than terrorists.
Right.
What? I mean, that's what I heard him say. I mean, maybe I misunderstood, but it seems to me that's what I heard him say. And we just had an event. We did a celebration of our law enforcement here and of our first responders. My daughter is a first responder who in California who made the time to go out and vote today. Way to go, Kres. I love you, and I'm so proud of you for what you do and what you stand for. But we had an event here this last weekend, and we had John Tigman here, who was the sergeant who refused to stand down and actually went back into Benghazi and took our people out.
Oh yeah.
So we are, that's Tig. So we are ravenously in love with the United States of America. We are patriotic to our core here at John Schneider Studios, and we are trying to figure out what in the world it is. We must not be inactive. We must be active. We were all born for such a time as this. We can't sit and watch the clown show. We can't continue to watch the clowns getting out of the Volkswagen, okay? We've got to jump in there into the center of the big top and go, hang on a second, time out, and do something. I just got another battery sign. Baby, do you have any way to plug this phone in? You have a charger anywhere? I'm having a wonderful conversation.
While we got you on this like this, I know you got some things you're going on. You're raising some money for the hurricane victims out in that area. Tell us a little bit about what all you got going on there.
Well, actually, what we're doing, the raising of money is a difficult thing, and you never quite know. You never quite know where it goes. So what we've done is I've encouraged people to send food, supplies, mold retardants, rubber glove, all kinds of things to the studio here if you want to help. Here, I've got to move you guys. Hang on. Don't fall off your chair.
Here, wait.
Let's go right here.
I don't know if this one works.
Okay, so I'm encouraging people to send things to us.
Nope,
Well,
still good. Come on.
isn't this great? Oh, I just got a message from Kara. She said, thank you. That is my daughter.
Here, our daughter.
Our daughter.
Thank
Pardon me.
you.
Wait a minute.
It's a good thing you got that.
I
good
can't
mom.
stay squatted down like this.
I'll get you a chair. Here,
I need a chair.
plug you in first.
You know, and I'm the one calling people a clown show, right? There you go. Put that right there.
There's too much light in the back. Yeah, Willis.
So I just got we had a UPS man. We had a UPS man come to the studio today. He dropped off about 16 boxes. And it was all from people who sent things for flood relief, which is really fantastic. There, now you're plugged in. Do you feel better? You're plugged in now.
Yeah, looks a lot better.
So that's what I've encouraged people to do. I'm so glad. Baby, where's my drink? Thank you. So who hit the phone? Okay. This is what it's like, right? You got to have fun. You have to have fun.
That's what we're here for.
So good. What I've also told people is that Alicia and I promise you, Alicia and I will do good things. If you buy something from the store, and I don't want to sound like a Democrat here, okay? But if you buy something, where'd you go? If you buy something from the store, we'll do something for somebody else with that money. We always do. We had all the linemen that were here the other day. Well, they're still here. We had 30,000 telephone poles go down during Hurricane Ida. And to put that into perspective, during Katrina, there were 17,000 that went down. So this is much worse. So we had Alicia and a friend of ours named William cooked breakfast sandwiches for them. Not 30,000 breakfast sandwiches, but probably 100 breakfast sandwiches for the linemen that were working right here in our area. Then we had the National Guard. So William cooked pancakes, and we put 100 breakfasts in the trunk of a General Lee, no kidding, the really nice one that Alicia got me, and drove it about 8 miles down the road and fed the National Guard.
And dinner.
And we fed them dinner. Yep. So we'll do good things. So what I'm trying to say there is, if you go to johnschneiderstudios.com and get Stand On It, or get another movie, or get some music, I promise we will do something good with whatever you spend. So we can't help it. You know, we love where we live. We love our community. We are very much into uniting people, because when people are divided, and that's what the pandemic or scandemic or whatever you want to call it has done, divide and conquer is a very basic art of war. So I do believe that's what's happened. I do believe that trying to communicate like this is very difficult. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's part of the whole nonsense as well. And we're doing everything we can to continue to keep our community and our state strong. And we want to help other people do the same thing. New York got hit terribly. Boston was hit. New Jersey was hit with Ida. It's been a mess everywhere.
Yes.
So if you say, well, John, you're just trying to sell something from your store, I get it. I understand. Then do this. Go out down your driveway or out of your apartment, go find someone that you've never met before and make a new friend, and then be a new friend.
Guess what we just started?
That will make, hang on a second, I'm getting, what's that?
Guess what we just started?
What did we just start?
John Schneider's Community Pass the Baton.
John Schneider's Community Pass the Baton. I don't know how to tell.
Tell him that the good
My wife is
Yeah,
eating
that's
boiled peanuts and telling me that we just started John Schneider's Community Pass the Baton.
Hey, John, before we let you
Do we have a website or anything? I'm just saying that.
No, we're handing.
Yeah, okay, I heard you.
We're handing off a baton, so it'll be like a pass.
Yes.
Hey, John, before we let you go, where are you racing at next? I talked to the guy the other day. He said you got a race coming up soon.
We're racing in Ringgold. We're racing in Ringgold at Boyd Speedway.
Okay, that's what I
So I can't wait. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Emerson, who owns Boyd Speedway, is a great guy. Wonderful people there. It's in Ringgold, Georgia. That is the second weekend in October. And we're also going to be bringing Bo's Extravaganza on the road. So we'll be bringing Stand On It. We'll be bringing our race cars. We'll be doing music, Stars and Bars Band. Cody McCarver from Confederate Railroad will be. It's going to be a big, big time. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I will, during that race, because this is the tiebreaker, I will beat my wife.
No.
Now, I'm
Racing.
going to ask a big question here now. Let's say you and her.
Okay.
You and her are going for the win on the last lap of the race. Are you going to take her out?
Well, yeah. She's going to. Really?
You living
Of
there,
course.
but will you be living there when you come back?
I'm just a girl.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's great, because I know that she tried to take me out too. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So folks, come on out to Ringgold. If you're anywhere near Ringgold, come on out to Ringgold, Georgia. Boyd's Speedway is a great track. I think it's a really old track. It's been there a long time.
Just recently opened.
So that's going to be fun. Go to johnschneiderstudios.com. Get a hold of a movie or a shirt or a hat. Go to Cineflix DOD if you'd like to watch Stand On It tonight. You can watch it tonight. I think it's $4.99.
Yep.
We don't play with Netflix. We are independent. I don't like a lot of the choices that big companies make, so we choose to give up the convenience of that relationship. And hear that, folks. There's a whole lot of companies right now that are doing things that, if you're listening to this station, you're watching us now, chances are you don't agree with a lot of the things that they're doing. So in the days to come, you are going to have to make a decision whether your country or your convenience is more important. Make the right one.
John, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Hopefully we can get you to come up here and do your show and everything here. I've already talked to Chuck Hall.
I'd love it.
We've already talked to Chuck Hall about it. Maybe we can work something out and get you up here sometime. We'd love to have you.
Love to do it. Love to do it. You guys take care. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it very, very much. I'll see you in the dirt.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, bud.
Bye-bye.
That turned out better than what I was thinking. You know, that was really cool. The guy told me he has an opinion, and he will voice his opinion, and he did.
I love this one-liner because I've never reused all those. The planning, the what was it? The
Scandemic.
I mean, they just go.
And the clowns getting out of the Volkswagen and stuff like that was pretty good too. All right, let's talk some racing now. Since we mentioned that whole time.
You've been to their track he's going to?
I've been to so many. I don't know if that's on the list. It sounds familiar, but I've been to a few Georgia dirt tracks.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are easy.
You know, the Ringgold, I think it closed at one time, and then it reopened again. And I understand there's some good racing going on down there, so that'd be a big deal. All right, we got the man named Brad Adams that pulled that win off in the last modified race here. How did it feel to get that win?
It's a long time coming. I mean, you finally get that first win, and you think you know what you're going to say when they put a microphone in front of you, and then you forget everything. And it felt good, though. It felt good. We worked real hard for it. And
you've been getting pretty close here.
Yeah, and that was some of the difference maker. We finally got close enough. We made Matt burn his tires up for once. And we did it the week before, and I kind of thought, you know, you never know when you start catching the leader if they're just baiting you.
Correct.
And
right.
We've seen Sean do that. God knows how many times. You bait you and then burn your tires
You still
up.
can't catch him?
You know, you get 3 car links, and then he just pulls back off like, oh, man, he got me again. But we finally got close enough that we made him burn a lot of his tires up the first race. And second race, we just made a few changes between race 1 and race 2, and the car just finally responded in a good way. So
were you running pretty hard there in the first race trying to keep I'm glad you're honest.
Well, you have that threshold where you get about 5 car links out, and you have to figure out, is he baiting me? And I could start to see him slip a little bit of tire coming off the corners. I'm like, no, he's not baiting me. So you have to keep digging, because if you don't keep digging, he's just going to match your pace and back up again. So I thought we could catch him. And then a caution came out, and I told him before the race, I'm like, look, you've been killing me on restarts all year. There's nothing I can do about it. I tried jumping the start. I jumped the start by a country mile, and he still beat me to turn 1. I'm like, well, you know.
He's got a lot of motor.
Yeah. He's just good on starts right now. And I'm terrible. So. And he finally figured it out. And we joke about it. You know, now that the pressure's off, we've had some good conversations joking about it. But he finally figured out what I was doing, and he exploited it, because I would hang back on him and start to run up to him. And I thought I had him figured out, and then I saw him choke back, and I'm like, oh, you got me. So he's been doing that the whole year to me. And,
did you watch the Cars tour, or who was it?
Oh, between yeah.
That was a class.
He's been taking me to school a year on it, so I haven't figured it out yet. But I told him I probably gave up too much and said I was going to try to start in 3rd before the start of the race. And I called to Kres, my spotter, over the radio, and I tried a few test launches. I'm like, no, you got to abort that. Like 8-inch tire and 600 horsepower, that did not work. So, but it felt good to finally get one. So we got one more to go.
Yeah, but this modified class is a great class to be involved in. I mean, you sit there and you think, well, Matt Carter, You know, he's the cream of the crop, but you've been catching him pretty good. Godovic, he got lightning in a bottle. I know he's watching, so I want to make sure.
No, I mean they're the two top two every week. I mean, it seems every week I can set outside a pole, but it's me and Rick are neck to neck, and now me and Matt are closer. But I mean, if you don't qualify, on the pole or in third, I mean, it's hard to get around these guys. And they're
Now, how old a car is yours?
Mine is a 2015 Hamilton chassis. And Brett's pretty good. He's an amazing fabricator. He'll do any ideas I have in mind, he'll go with, and he's got a lot of great ideas. So mine's about 6 years old now.
Okay.
So.
Now but you started in dirt, right?
Yeah, I started running Mod 4s when I was 13.
Okay.
Running full-size stock cars 13. And then I went to a little bit of dirt late model and then came here to play.
What made you come asphalt racing?
Initially, I started helping the Davises. We worked one street apart, and I started helping them with arena back in the day, and then helped them with trucks. And then I met Sean's kids through arena and started helping Sean. And Sean told me when I came to trucks here, you need to come up with modifieds every year. When are you going to come run the big cars? When are you going to run the big cars? And I finally stepped up the mods here. So I've been here for 3 years.
It's a big step from a truck, though.
Yeah. It's same tire size almost, and 5 times the horsepower.
Yeah, 5 times the money too, or
it's not terrible. It's not as bad as people think.
Really?
With the 2 tire rules, and it doesn't matter what kind of motor you build. That 8-inch tire is a great equalizer.
Now, how many people you got helping you?
I have my brother Ryan, Christopher, he's my spotter. I have one tire guy, Josh, and then my wife does a whole lot. She keeps all of us in line, keeps us fed. Gets pretty much walked after me and picks up everything I forget. All of them do that. And then we have Doug Patrick and Jason Jordan. They come and help out, and we have 2 great sponsors. We have Asset Towing and Recovery with Brian and Ashley, and we have Doormasters. And we're a small team, and they throw in just as much as we need.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's amazing when you start running better, you get more help.
It is. It's like you can't find no help.
Yeah.
You can't even pay nobody. But when you start running, they just come helping
Yeah.
for free, right?
Yeah. And you let people look on their car and they bring you pizza. So.
I'm gonna have to go over to Jason's car now and give him some pizza and start looking.
Yeah. We started looking at our competitors' cars, and they started bringing these banners and stuff out now too. You see, so that's a thing now too. But it's fun. We run with a great bunch of guys.
And you're helping a lot of people out here now. It seems like every time I turn around, Brad's helping this guy, helping this guy.
Well, I mostly try to stick to guys that Scott runs against. So I help Jason shine the Pro 6s. But no,
you ain't got to do a whole lot of help there, do you? But if you're trying to beat Scott, I'm saying you.
Yeah. There's nights he's close. I'm like, man, I don't know if we're good or he's bad or what's going on. But no, I help Louis in the trucks, Jason in the Pro 6s, and then I got 2 dirt late models I help. And we try to help whoever asks for the most part. That's you start helping these guys and you see their excitement with their success, and it kind of lights the fire back onto your road program.
It's funny because Mark said that same thing last week, of helping, and Mark's kind of getting that same sort of boat. He's helping a lot of other people. And it's true. It's easy to get burnout in the sport. You've been in the sport a long time. I'm sure you've been burnout a few times. I mean, I've quit one time and came back, and so it's a frustrating sport.
Mark's helped me a ton, and he'll never take credit for it. And I've never really put it out there until now, but Mark's helped me a ton. And the Edwards brothers have helped me a ton with advice, or I've gone over and bringing them parts. Can you look at this for me? So there's a whole lot of guys around this racetrack that will help.
Just gotta ask.
Yeah, that will help the young guys like me get into young guys.
Yeah, you ain't young no more.
The less experience at this level guys.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I mean, somebody's gonna, like Mark said, somebody's got to replace those guys. I mean, those guys are only going to be around so much longer. Mm-hmm. Although Danny's boys getting his Pro 6 ready, hopefully maybe they'll get it out by the end of the year. I'm not sure, but I mess with him all the time when I see him. I'm like, when are you gonna bring your car out?
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen it. You're gonna have your hands full.
well, I'm sure. I mean, they've got a lot of experience, and
Mhm.
but it's still gonna be fun. I mean, he's still gotta learn, and
Did you just say Scott was gonna have his hands full
Yeah,
with somebody?
more than that.
He's gonna be able to catch them, bro. You can't even.
Yeah, I mean, I'd offer my services, but Jason won't. Surprised I didn't get a text message before I came up here. Like, oh, yeah, what's up?
I'll start stirring something up when we leave. I'm like, what time are you gonna be over the shop?
Well, and I've raced those things before too. I've raced.
Oh, did you?
Here. Yeah, I ran the one that the Huss have now. And
Okay.
I've been in Debbie Bicycler's car before too when they first got that one built.
Mm.
But
Everybody's been in that car.
yeah, they had the power steering lines backwards when I ran it. It was not as fun.
Backwards?
Yeah, backwards.
So what did it make it?
It would fight you. You go down in the corner and you try to turn left, and they try to turn back right, and that's an extremely fast car as well.
Oh yeah,
The Huff's car is extremely fast too. There's just he runs so much stuff. I don't think he gets the time to. If you had a late model in a Pro 6, I'm not sure I'd put the time towards the Pro 6.
Right, or a truck.
Yeah, and the trucks too. He's got my old truck and I think Tommy Nixon's old truck too.
Oh, he's got two?
Yeah, he bought the one off of me. That's what I bought the modified with.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Yeah, so I bought the modified with the truck money.
So when you look at this modified series, the years that Sean Beluzzo dominated and everything here. I mean, that was unbelievable, some of the things he did. But then Matt Carter came in, and I know he put a lot of effort trying to catch Sean and try to do it. And now he's pulled
Mr.
away.
Sears spent a lot of money trying to
You guys, is it a situation where you guys got to say, man, we got to step this thing up if we're going to keep up with these guys? And
It is. And I thought of this on the way here. When Sean was still running, Matt was right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're behind Sean, you learn his line, you learn, what he was doing. And now that you have Matt in that position and I've gotten close enough to him, you kind of get that trickle down effect where, I'm behind him and you're learning kind of what his line is and where his stuff's working and where my stuff's not working. So you have that progression of next man up, and that trickle down of what he learned from Sean. I learned from Sean because I worked for Sean's team for a long time. So I got to learn a whole lot in the garage system. Like Mark was talking about the other week, you have a system in place that you learn from these guys of how to run your program. And then you learn on track from these guys. So, and, Matt learned a ton from him, and I would never take that away from him. I mean, his program's top notch.
Sure, yeah.
And in order to catch them, I mean, we've had to work. And we don't have quite the same resources, but you still have the same opportunities. With it's still 4 tires, it's still still suspension that you have to go home and put the time in on.
So who's helped you the most, like setup wise or chassis stuff? I mean, is that stuff you just kind of learn and pick people's brain?
You'll take a little bit from everybody, but it's mostly just me and Kres in the garage. And trying stuff.
The garage.
Yeah, the garage.
Phone calls.
So, and I mentioned in my interview, after Sean passed, we were going through some of his stuff. We found a setup sheet.
Oh, really?
And it was just 4 springs and 4 ride heights and crossweight, which I already knew what he ran. But I came in here and Sean told me to come run, and I thought I was going to do it my own way and run my own new school stuff, my bump stops, and it did not work. I kid you not. Before that last race that weekend, there was 1 spring on that setup sheet that I didn't put in the car. I put that in the car Thursday night before that race we won.
That's it, right?
That was the last one. And his wife, Terry, and Kres can tell you, and everyone in my pits can tell you that night, when I was still on bump stops, I had a bad night. And she came up in front of everybody. You know what Sean would say right now about your new school stuff? Yes, ma'am. When are you going to take it off the car? Well, I put a lot. When are you going to take it off the car? So we can go home and we'll see what we have. Do you have the springs? Yes, I do. Put them on the car tonight. I sent her a text message when I got home and set each spring by each corner. And I texted her and said, they're going in the car. She said, why aren't we in the car tonight? I kid
She's
you not.
a ball buster, huh?
Sean was like a second father to me. His son's my best friend. And, so I spent a lot of time in the shop, and I thought I could outsmart the old man, and I was wrong. Next weekend, we sat on the outside pole, and I see her come walking across the red gate. Oh no, she's coming back to me. And she had already talked to Kres, and she said, "You know what I'm going to tell you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "I was right, wasn't I?" "Yes, ma'am." And those are the same.
They do need to argue.
That is the same setup that has been in the car ever since.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah, same exact stuff with some minor tweaks, but yeah, I mean, his stuff.
So I guess we have to call Terry the crew chief.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
not Kres. It's not Kres and me, but you know, everyone was backing up from the car because she
Look,
let
I'm
me
going
have
by
it.
Terry's office this week. I'm like, look, what do I need to put in my car?
She let me have it. She let me know
The
that.
bad part about it, she's going to tell you for the new driver.
Yeah,
She's
she
a really
let me
good
have it.
motivator.
She told me that I knew what I should be doing, and he would not approve of what I was running. So
All right, the week you won the race, the modified race, everybody voted you driver of the week. So there's your driver of the week
appreciate it.
award from
Appreciate
us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's not worth anything, but
Well,
That and 50 cent ain't gonna get you much.
Well, it was the first comment I saw under it was Danny Millard. He said, "I won one." Give these out to everybody.
I know, right? He was the inaugural. He's like the
That's
first
what he
one.
said.
You know?
He was like,
The
I
bar
was
was
the
set
first one.
real high, right?
Yeah, well, I hope it's a little higher now. I mean, yeah, I appreciate it,
But
guys.
see, the thing about it is, when it started with Danny Millard, it was a joke. And
You can
somehow,
imagine that, right?
other than that, we've now got sponsors for it, and it's not a joke anymore.
No. The
You
next
start-
week was like, who's driver of the week this week?
You get nasty notes. I mean, there's all kinds. I get all kinds of stuff. But you didn't get a nasty note. You just flat out. I mean, I understand you had the mafia with you.
Yeah.
And the mafia was on your side. So
I didn't know that was a thing, and I see.
Oh, Lord, it's a
the
thing.
mic
It's a
host
thing,
is like
man.
the mafia. I'm like, well, between the mafia and John tonight, I don't know what's going to happen.
the mafia.
I might need the mafia to help me after the stuff he said.
It was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Wasn't it?
Yeah, we're out here by this Air Force base. I mean, it's NASA. You might want to duck when you go out the door.
I know.
So anyway, but congratulations.
I
You
do
deserve it.
appreciate
You've
it.
done a great job, and I know you got the big one coming up, the Sean Beluso Memorial, and that's
Yes.
a big one. I know you can put a lot of effort into that.
Are you going to change
No.
anything for that?
I've been told by everyone to cover the car. I've been told by my competitors to cover the car, and they mean it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but a lot of them reached out to me and said, "Don't touch it." So Terry hasn't told me not to touch it yet. So
Yeah, I would call her first.
yeah.
Dave McGard says, "Welcome to the club, Brad."
Yeah. You know, they used to not like me because I ran trucks against Tommy, and we wrecked each other every week.
Oh,
So
really?
the fact that Davey actually,
Talks to
Davey
you
and
now?
Danny actually, recommended.
That was big, huh?
Yeah. Well, Danny had asked me who I was first, but y'all gave Davey one too, and Danny.
I don't think.
I don't think Davey got one. Danny got one.
Has he won it since?
No.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't drive like he did that night anymore since then. You
He
know,
didn't
he's getting older.
slingshot.
I mean, he drove right. I mean, did you see that race he won? Did he win driver of the week?
I don't know.
He drove slam by
He drove by Aaron by himself on the outside.
it was just kind of like Aaron just kind of
Let off.
let him go. That's what it looked like.
He didn't want it. Sometimes you got to give these guys drivers.
Oh, Dave Millard said, yes, I did. Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay. I forgot.
Well, it's kind of like brothers. You can't get one brother one and not the other.
Oh, that's-
And Terry Ballou says, don't touch it. Don't touch that car.
Telling me not to touch it.
Speaking of somebody you forgot, our Sir Liberty Tire guy last week.
Oh, I had Mason done.
That
Oh.
was the
I had
ticket.
Mason done.
Oh Lord, he's gonna take all the credit. You know that.
Well, I saw him, and Chris told me at work, like, he said he had Ryan Richardson coming, and he ended up with other obligations. Like, man, you got Ryan coming. Like, that Grant crew chief, so we might win this week. And he said, well, we got Mason coming too. I'm like, well, that's a celebrity, so. And we were joking all day. Like,
Wait a minute. Whoa. Where do you think? Lord, he's on here too. Where in the world did you get Mason Dunn's a celebrity?
He's been winning. He won everything down in
He was in a
Florida.
lot of Victory Lane photos over the summer. Traveling.
That ain't him.
Well, he might have been the car washer, but whatever he does works.
Well,
He still got his picture in Victory Lane, right?
He had the Weeder hat on too, the Wesley Weeder hat. So, I mean, that could have been some of it.
Eddie Clark says Mason who?
Yeah.
You know, Mason,
Mason's funny.
he needs to spend more time on Facebook correcting everybody's mistakes because he sure corrects a lot of mine.
I mean, to be honest, he's a good tire guy. He was asking me questions during the day about my tires. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, that's why you're here. I didn't know what he was doing. I just told him thumbs up. Anytime he asked me a question, I'm like, you just do you, buddy. It worked out. But now I asked him if he could come to the Palooza race, and he said no. He's helping Curtis. He's helping Curtis Hughes.
Oh,
Curtis
okay,
comes
yeah,
out. Man, like, I offered Curtis help just to get Mason, but you know,
He wouldn't let him go.
nah,
He wouldn't give him a hall pass.
He works where I work too, so I'm gonna work on him, or else see if we can't get him to work on Saturday, so he's not racing.
There you go.
Because he's our materials guy for my project, so I'm hoping, you know, I might have to tie him to the chair or something.
Lock him in a closet. Get him to go check out a closet and then lock it and just leave for the weekend.
I'll just
Just
tell
fire
him,
watch.
I'll just tell him Scott's coming to race mods.
There you go. Right.
That's what I'm start telling everybody.
Look, he went down there a couple of weeks ago and was hanging around with somebody testing the late model that had a 29 on the car, and boy, you wouldn't believe all the people wondering what is he doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, good luck to you at the Sean Palooza Memorial. I know that's going to be a.
How many more races is there besides that one?
That's
Zero.
the last
That's
one.
it?
Our last
Okay.
Our
race
last
was the
points
last
race
race.
was
Okay.
last race. We ended up, I think, second in points. Matt locked it up, and only the Palooza race left.
And you said Dominion is not racing that weekend.
No, Dominion is off.
Dominion's
Yeah.
off.
So you can probably get a handful of guys coming down from there too, I would guess.
Yeah, we're hoping for 24, 25. That's about what we had last year, which was a really good field. Jeremy Gershner
That was
is
serious.
supposed to be coming as long as the tour race plays out the right way. He'll be coming back with his car. Jeremy's a great driver, and that's a family that really, you know, did a lot for us the last couple of years, and so we really enjoy having them up here. So it'll be a good race.
I can't wait.
And you said on the 5th we're going to have the trophy here, and we're going
Yes, I will.
we're going to display the trophy here.
Yeah, I promised you last year we'd do the grand reveal of the trophy on the show.
He
So
won't even show me, and I thought,
But you know,
You thought y'all were friends, huh?
see, everybody keeps talking about they want the trophy, they want this, that. I'm the only one that knows what it looks like, other than Mike
I
New.
started to ask.
So-
Well, there
he
you
won't
go.
tell me, and it's like we're best.
so when you bring it up here, you have gloves on and everything when you bring it up here and set it up here.
I would say I'd wear one of Sean's, old tuxedos, but I don't fit. That's the problem.
But I mean, you're gonna have gloves on so that you're gonna get fingerprints on it,
Yes.
and you're not gonna let Scott anywhere near it.
Yeah, I'll keep it on your end
He's
of
got
the
you got
table.
to let him near a trophy at some point. We gotta get him there.
Look, he won one trophy since we've had this show. He won one of those champ cart races. And that trophy stayed out here for like 6-8 weeks. Other people was winning races and everything, but that
It
one
didn't matter.
That one trophy stayed
I
here
was
the
still
whole time.
celebrating.
But the bad part is you slept with it too. So that
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me celebrate with mine. I mean, they said you get one day, and
I
then
told
we got to
him-
go back to work.
I told him the old school way we used to do. He had Sunday to celebrate and enjoy it. After Sunday was
Then go back
over,
to work.
Monday we went back to work.
Yep.
Winning a race is fun.
You have to.
Doing it again, that's the challenge.
When you run against people like the caliber of Matt and Rick, you have to spend a whole lot of shop time, and because they don't take a day off, so you can't
I mean,
do it.
We have Matt, we have Rick, we have Colby. I mean,
Yeah, Colby's been
the-
pretty
the
fast.
tops-
I mean, he got a good start on a setup. So
yeah,
I mean,
the top 6, 7 any week, if you're in that speed run, can honestly, you got a shot. You never know with these cars
All the
what they'll
Johnson
do.
cars coming back. You're gonna have
Yeah.
the Cully cars coming to this race. You're gonna have
Hopefully the Humlets, they're always
the
fast.
The Cully cars.
Yeah,
So Mike Rudy.
Mike Rudy.
And now that you have the Palooza Challenge, where if you're on the front row, you can start last. Which
Yeah,
who's
we-
gonna take that? That's what I'm
so
curious.
we've had that discussion, and me and Matt have talked because we've been front row for the past couple races, and he said he might take it. I might take it.
So
I
is this
thought
go
about
to
If
both
we're
cars
lucky-
on the
if-
front row?
If
Yeah,
we're
and
lucky,
either front
whoever's
row.
lucky enough to be the front row, you're going to be able to keep whoever wins the pole is going to keep the pole award and the money that goes with the pole award. But first and second are going to have the option to drop to the rear in Palooza fashion. If you come back to the front and win the race, it's $500 bonus on top of the purse. So we'll see who the front row is and if they have,
if they got the balls enough to do it.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean,
It's hard.
It's hard
Oh,
to pass in
but
these
he
cars.
made it look easy.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it so many times. I'm like, there's no way he's going to get back. And goddamn, here he is.
It took me 18 laps to get from 7th
Yes.
to the lead, and that's letting the guys burn their tires up the first race.
And we threw another curveball at it too. Is the halfway or lap 48 is going to have a payout of $448 supplied by Sean's brother Danny and his company. So you're not going to be able to just ride and cruise if you want the payout at halfway. So it's going to make it interesting. And last year's race was phenomenal in my opinion.
Yeah, it was.
So this year I'm expecting the guys to step it up and make it that much better. So.
And I think it was kind of fitting that Mark won last year too.
It
It
definitely was. There's I've told him there's certain boxes as time has gone on that we want to check off. Just in life. Mark winning last year started it. That was a big box that we got checked. Me and Brad doing our thing this year, being consistent, getting better, finally winning a race. That was huge. That
for sure.
Another big one. So no pressure on him. I want the trophy to come back home. So that's the next box. But
It's tough. These guys are so tough.
Yes.
All right. I see we got some people on the line here, but hey, Kres, hold on just a couple minutes. We'll be back to you in just a minute. We're going to talk to Trent Owens real quick first and talk to him, and we'll be right back to you. Let's get Trent on here.
What's up, Trent?
Hey, how you guys?
Good, man. So how did everything go from your standpoint at Richmond this weekend?
It was a long night, long 400 laps for us, but it's been a little bit of a struggle at Richmond of late. But we managed to hang in there, finish 25th. We was hoping for a lot better than that, but we'll move on to the next one at Bristol and try to do better.
Now, there's a lot of things up in the air. I understand they got some schedule changes coming tomorrow when they make that announcement. There's a lot of things going on in the sport right now. Is that easy for you guys to work with, knowing that there's all kinds of changes coming? And you and I talked about some specific things when we were in Richmond, but is it hard to work up like that when you have things coming up that you're not really sure what's going to happen?
No, it is. I mean, it's a distraction, to say the least, but we still are getting paid to do a job and finish this season out. And, we have to remain focused on that. And, my job is to take the guys that's dedicated to the 37 car and make sure they're focused as well. So we have a whole new race car coming next year, unknowns with where the team I work for, the 37 car in particular, where it's going to be next year, or even if it exists at all. So all that stuff is in the back of your head, and it's distracting from your day to day. But we have to prepare like we always do every week, and go out and put a good product on the racetrack and do the job we're getting paid to do.
How much fun's it been working with Priest this year? I mean, he is a bundle of talent. He just hasn't got the win or the big finishes that he deserves. But he's a lot of talent.
Oh, for sure. You see that in all the short track racing he's doing and the modified wins. He's here. I think he's got three in a row here of late. And, I was able to go to South Boston with him and spend some time with him and his modified team, and had just had a blast. And, I enjoy working with Ryan. I think that you rarely come across a guy his age that just appreciates the sport of racing like he does. Like he's just a true racer. On the racetrack. So, win's not out of the question by any means for the season's out. And, I think he's going to be around for a while. I think that, when you look at him and look at what he's doing in his modified and what he has done to get to this level of racing, he deserves to be here. And I think he'll continue to be here in this garage.
Well, you couldn't wake Travis up tonight to get him to come on the show because I hadn't seen him or heard from him.
I don't know what he's doing. I talked to him earlier, and he was changing a fuel pump or something on one of the boys' cars. So maybe he ran long on that one.
Well, you know, when you're that good looking, you got to get your beauty sleep. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, he said he's the better looking Owens, and you are just the,
Oh,
The
it's,
smart one,
smarter
apparently.
Owens.
oh, is that right? I
He feels
got
sorry
worded.
for you.
He definitely is the harder worker. I'll give him that. I don't know about the looks.
So when Brad and them decided to sell or not do a charter for the 37, has that made it harder for you guys? I mean, you make it into races every week, but I mean, is it made it harder for you?
Well, I mean, we knew what we were going to be faced with before the season started. It was very upfront, and that we were going to run without a charter this season. We anticipated actually setting out some races and not running a full schedule, but we have run a full schedule. We knew past this season, if the team didn't search for a charter, it was going to be tough to continue because it just doesn't make if you're not sponsored for every event, it just doesn't make good financial sense. So, we understand the decisions that's been made. And, this year, fortunately, most races other than the Daytona 500, there's been 40 cars or less. So qualifying really hadn't been an issue. The fact that we went down to Daytona, made the 500, it kind of locked us into all the one-day shows. And the events we did have qualifying, I think 40 cars is the most we've seen. So from that standpoint, it hasn't been as difficult as what we were kind of gearing up to be when the season started. But, I'm proud of the opportunities that's been given to us to run the full schedule. Proud of all the guys on the team. It's been some up and down, but we've had a lot of good things to be proud of this year. And we'll just try to continue that in these next several events and let everything play out.
So when NASCAR put a freeze on you guys being able to do it, get new parts for cars and whatever, rebuild new cars and whatever they put out there for you, that had to be another big hindrance for you as far as being able to change things around.
Yeah, I mean, with the new car coming, and which it was supposed to come a year before now, the parts freeze or the submission freeze, however you want to say it, it really is a good thing for a smaller team like ourselves. We wasn't really prepared to keep building new cars after new car. So we kind of like that they froze the parts. However, you are locked into your design. And, when sometimes you get some thoughts and you're like, man, we could make this a lot better. But unfortunately, those days are gone. So that is a little bit difficult, that we wish we may have done some things different. But everybody's got the same rules to follow in that regard. And it in a way, it probably helped a smaller team like us survive better and actually probably perform better.
Now, you go into a place like Bristol this weekend, and I know Priest has been there several times. I know he knows about that track, but not having practice and not having any way to, and the fact that they had dirt on that track beginning of the year, and now you're going back there to race again without the dirt. I mean, isn't that a bigger hindrance to you guys to not have those practice times where you can at least see how the track is or whatever?
No, we definitely miss practice. It would be nice to get a 15 or 20 minute shakedown, and then race, showing up, cold. And, I think there's going to be enough racing on the racing surface before we get there. That as far as dirt, the concrete, that's probably not going to be a big issue. But, just to have those practice laps is huge, and a shakedown and just knock the rust off. So, a little bit of a disadvantage, but the bigger disadvantage for us is not necessarily the practice. Not being a full manufacturer team, we don't have the opportunity to go to the simulators and do simulated practice sessions like some of the teams are. I think that's really helped some of the other teams. I think they've really developed those tools a lot better than what we would talk about 3 years ago. So that's kind of what we feel like we're missing. Not so much the track, but they give us a competition caution. I think this week's gonna be lap 40, and that's been nice. At least they do that to try to make a swing at the car if we need to.
Is there any concern on your part with the fact that there was dirt on Bristol and you're going back to concrete? And is there any concern there at all? Or do you think with the past months that they've had, all that's gone off the track, you can't get it all, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that, but we feel like, Xfinity race, truck race, or whatever's going on before that, we unfortunately we feel like those guys are going to clean it off. I think if I was going to be the first one on the track, I'd be extremely worried. But yeah, we expect to see some remnants of the red dirt that was there from the spring. So I don't think it affect the Cup Series as much, but maybe one of the other series.
Now, do you put a bunch of adjustability in the car, especially with no practice?
Yeah, we do. We we have to be prepared for anything. We got plenty of adjustments on our bump stops. We actually have some pull tabs on the rear shock for shock adjustments. Obviously, the old spring rubbers still in our cars. That'll be something that we could plug in or out, and we go through tech, and depending on conditions, we can do a few touching of the spring wedge bolts and stuff, even in final adjustments. So we do try to build as much adjustment into the car as possible. But once that race starts, you're pretty limited unless you want to lose all your track position on a slow pit stop.
Now, do you watch the truck race or talk to the guys in the trucks or the Xfinity and see what the track felt like and maybe make a last minute adjustment?
Yeah, we certainly do. Ryan will talk to the drivers that he's friends of or feels like he gets good feedback. I'll spend some time doing the same with some engineers on some of the Xfinity cars. I'm pretty good friends with a lot of those guys. We seem to get a lot out of the Xfinity car, more so than the truck series as far as information. So yeah, we always we keep tabs with those guys, and then our car will be sitting there for us to get there on Saturday, and if there's anything we feel like we need to do to adjust for that, we will.
Well, Trent, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us tonight, man. I know it's really, you got a lot going on, getting ready for Bristol, ended up the end of the season. So good luck to you the rest of the way. Hopefully we'll see you up at Martinsville.
Yep, I sure appreciate it. Nice seeing you guys.
All right, man.
Thanks,
Good to see you. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
I mean, we did get a lot of insight on the new car.
Yeah, we did. It was pretty interesting to hear the talk about the new car and how things are going to be done. And
I mean, they're coilovers. The new car's coilovers. It was like, well, how are you gonna be? You ain't gonna be able to take no wedge out, and put no wedge in real quick. So it's like that was kind of that blew my mind. That didn't even dawn on me. Even though looking at all the pictures, when I think we were talking to Travis and or Trent, and it was like, how you gonna do a pit? I'm like, oh man, I didn't even think about that. Like, you can't take any wedge out, put any wedge in under a caution or a pit stop. Like,
Well, similar to our late models now. Late models have coilover.
True. But they're so used to putting a wedge wrench in there, or raising them. Well, I guess they still running the electric wrench for the Panhard bar.
Don't think they have it this year, but
No,
I mean, you might be surprised with that single lug nut. Being able to take a tire off, hit it with a wrench, put a turn in real quick, put a single lug nut back on. It may not be that much different.
Yeah, I don't know.
all right, let's get Kres on here.
What's up, Chris?
Hey man, how's it going?
How's it going?
I can't call you the king of Kingsport anymore because you didn't race at Kingsport, but I can call you the 2021 late model champion at Motor Mile this year. So that's a big deal.
What about that?
Was it exciting to be able to go up there and get that championship like that?
You broke up. What'd you say?
What was it exciting for you to go up there and win the championship at Motor Mile after all the years down at, or the time you spent at Kingsport?
Yeah, man. Just we won a lot down there at Kingsport and stuff, and all of us guys and my family, everybody was like, let's go for Motor Miles championship. And it's just kind of been a goal, and we shot for it in 19, and didn't succeed. We got, I think we finished third in the points then, but so we're gonna go back and try it again and see if we hit on some good stuff and kicked a lot of tail and took the points lead. Actually, we lost it early in the year, and then we regained it back and ran away with it.
Hey, you've had a heck of a year up there, and I understand you're still racing at the Pine too.
No, we ain't run nowhere else other than Motor Mile this year.
I said the other day you were running at the Pine.
I don't think so.
Okay. So, do you have any more races in line for the rest of the year, or?
Yeah, we've gone to Martinsville here in 2 weeks or less. I think it's like a week and a half. We'll be up in Martinsville.
So,
Be on the 24th and 25th.
are you excited about going to Martinsville and trying to, it's got to be good to go to a race like that and you be the champion.
I'm telling you, man, if you're not excited about going to Martinsville, you're not a race car driver. I mean, Martinsville is kind of the cream of the crop of the late model racing. It's kind of the crown, you know. You go up there to go for the big one. There'll be 60, 70, maybe 80 cars show up. Back in the day, there used to be 100+ cars. I mean, it's always a good, classy field of cars to race with, and it's a good, classy event. It's ran really nice. It's fast paced. You got to be on top of the game. You got to have a crew of guys. I mean, everybody's got to be working like the river flowing, you know. I mean, it's just got to work good. And it's always been exciting. We always look forward to it. I mean, it's from day one when the season starts, it's preparing for Martinsville, always. So it's like now it's here, you know. We got like probably 10 days left to get prepared for it. And we've done got the motor out of the car. We come out Sunday, headed to Robbie. Hopefully get it back here in the next day or two and start getting prepared, get everything done setup wise, and be ready to rock and roll here in about a week.
I know it's like every Martinsville is kind of our Daytona 500. Everybody's got their best stuff. Everybody's got the motor fresh. I mean, we were just talking to Mark. His is going to a pull down rig. He's got the motor. You know, I mean, it's like everybody brings their best stuff.
Yeah, man, I tell you, it's if you're going to Martinsville, you better be going with the biggest piece of ammo you got. You know, I mean, you're going with the best of the best. I mean, you got to be prepared, not break down. I mean, it's not. No matter how good of stuff you got, if it ain't good and going to last, you don't need it. And you got to go through it. It's, you know, the bearings, brakes, everything's got to be premium. That's something we ain't done. We ain't done the pull down stuff in about 3 years. I mean, I'd like to try to get the opportunity to get back on one, but I don't know. We use jack stands and strings still.
That's the Mike Looney way, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, strings don't lie. You know, lasers, that's man-made to me. It's kind of hard for me to trust stuff. When I see that string and I can measure it with a tape measure, and I know it's level and I know things are right, that's where it's at. Ain't no false to that.
You know, one of the things I've heard, and I regret that this come up a couple of times, but I had a friend of mine. He said, Kres Van Dyke can win all them races at Kingsport, but he can't go anywhere else and win a race. And I told him, I said, huh? Do what?
The proof in the pudding now. Now.
That's what I told him. Why would you even say something like that? Because, you know, even though you dominated at Kingsport, we know you did, but you're a hell of a driver, and I mean that's just the way it is. And you can win anywhere if the timing's right.
You know, man, just got to put if the juice is worth the squeeze, you're going to go for it. You know, and the way I look at it, man, just our goal was to win. The points will fall in place, and we were consistent. We were fast every week. There was a lot of people, you know, comes up there and they're hot and cold and hot and cold. I mean, that's not how you win up there. And, I mean, you got to stay on it. You got to test, and you know it's tough. Motor Mile is probably one of the toughest tracks, and it changes daily. It changes hourly. I'll just be straight frank. I mean, you go up there and run on Fridays during the test day, and we go up there and race practice. We run 15, 30s, and 20s in practice, and you think you're going to be good, and you roll the car right back out of the trailer. It didn't leave and go and be worked on with, and the track will be a half a second slower. I mean, it's and you're like, oh God, you know, where we at now? You know, you got to keep on it. I mean, it's a consistent it's this revolving table on the consistency of that track. It changes a lot. Temperature. I don't know if it's the tires or I don't know what it is. It just changes a lot, and you got to stay on top of it. And, you know, my guys, we pay attention to all the variables that come and go there, and we take notes on, you know, the temperature of things and just time of the day and, you know, cloud cover and time of sun, how much clouds. I mean, it's just a whole lot of things we take notes on. And we kind of stay prepared and try to hit throwing darts at nighttime basically, but you never know. Hopefully he hits the best.
I've watched, that time I came to Kingsport and hung out with you guys. I saw that those guys are really into what they're doing, and you have a great group of guys helping you with getting ready for the races.
Yeah, man. We've these guys take it to heart. They don't go at it half pace. I mean, it's either all or none, and everybody's volunteered, but it's a job to them. It's their race car to them. It's their championship to them. It's their win every week that we get to them, and it's hard to find guys that takes it to heart that way and takes it as serious as a job and as serious as I want to take it. That's what it takes to win, my opinion, and championships come along with that. It's been a struggle with our crew this year. I mean, we've outside the racetrack. I mean, bless Barb's heart. I mean, got in a wreck. We've had him down. He done my tires. So it's kind of been shorthanded with him, and he's been on the phone communicating with everybody that's doing the tires now, and trying to help keep us lined out. And it's just been a struggle with that, being said. I mean, everybody stepped up and helped at the shop and come and go, and we had some pretty good incidents with the car, and got it back going when most people would have probably been done already for a couple of weeks or a month. We came back, and we came back strong every time.
Now, Aaron just put up there a few minutes ago that I didn't know this. Did you want to race at Hickory? I didn't know you didn't want to race at Hickory.
Yeah, we've raced. First time I've been to Hickory, we won 20-car field.
Oh, so you're a Hickory winner. So that's a big deal too. See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's
we won.
cool.
I think we won that in 16 or 17. We won down there.
So where are we going next year to win a championship?
I don't know. Where you want to go?
Hey, I want you to come down here and run Langley one time.
Well, I think we've been talking about spot racing, money chasing races. I don't know. We've just been looking at some alternatives there. It's a little early to be putting our finger on it right now, and solid what we're going to do. But the talk is, spot race travel, maybe come out there a couple of times, go to Dominion, South Austin. I want to maybe run for the Triple Crown. We'll just go out there and test some and see how it goes. And I don't know. We'll just have to see how things pan out. There's a lot of these tracks that are, the late model racing, I reckon, is kind of dimmed down just a little bit. We're talking at Motor Mall and Kingsport and places. I don't know if they're trying to back them up or what into limiteds, but I don't know. It's just kind of hearsay talk, and how that goes. It kind of comes and goes, and I really got to weigh all this out on how it hits for the racetracks to really make a decision where I'm going to go.
And just tell Aaron to get you some more money. That's all she can, just give you some more money so you can go racing.
Yeah, you know how that goes. I tell you, man, that's probably the hardest part of racing is the financial part of just getting support and help and backing. I mean, to us, it's been a struggle for years, but we've had good people to come. Our sponsors has been, what we've got, we're blessed with. Everybody does what they can and pitches in. We make it survive. I mean, we cut every corner possible to keep us rolling, and we still succeed.
Well, Kres, one of the things that I got to say is you've had a hell of a couple of years. You get Kingsport, you win Motor Mile championships, got the new baby and everything. You've had a good couple of years, man.
Blessed, man. I'm telling you. That's what I told. Me and Wade was talking about that other day after we secured the championship at Motor Mile. I told him, I said, you realize we've won 16 plus 6, 22 races in the last 2 years. State and track championship at Kingsport, Motor Mile track championship in 2 years. And I was like, man, that's stout. I was like,
Right.
That's to come out and do that. I mean, with one race car. I mean, we've got another car at the house, but we focus on one. I kept the old car under the covers for a while, but we have babied that thing. We took care of it, but we race it hard. I don't give it any slack when it's out there. But I think it's pretty stout to me. I told him, I was like, pat you back. I was like, it's something to be proud of. We stand tall over this in here. We can say, we've done it. And but them guys, I mean, everybody was just so excited with this one here. Because I don't think anybody expected it. I think that it was really not expected at all. But here we are.
Hey, I think you deserve it, man. You've done a heck of a job. So I have to say you deserve every bit of it. So congratulations to you.
I appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna say it in front of everybody, so they all know, because they all accuse me of being a big Kres Van Dyke fan. I mean, I've been accused.
They ain't accused you. We just confirmed it. That's all.
I'm gonna confirm it. I'm a Kres Van Dyke fan. I keep up with everything you do, and I'm not caring about all these people saying, all you talk about is Kres Van Dyke. Well, hey, now you give me a reason to talk some more.
That's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. I agree with you.
Hey, that's motivation to me, baby.
Well, Kres, thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight, man. I know you got a lot going on, and you have to come out and get in the car to talk to us.
Yeah, I'm actually out here in town. I just got off work, and I called Aaron on the way home. I was like, I am not going to be able to make it there in time to do this. I said, I'm going to pull over. So I'm actually at O'Reilly's Auto Parts parking lot in Abilene, Virginia, sitting in my truck, just got off work. So I need to thank a few people that's been a part of this whole year. Torch Racing Chassis, Craig Oliver and Sammy and them guys up there, they done a heck of a job on getting us back going. When we got bent, tore up a little bit, we've had to make a couple of trips up there this year, and every time we've been, I mean, they squeeze it out and make it happen, and it's dead on the money every time we get it back. Hands down, them guys, Torch Chassis, I think they're number one. BST shocks, you can't beat them. Larry Pollard LP gear, the best they are in drivetrain. Branson Allison race parts, RW race engines. I mean, them guys, that's the motor behind the boat, That's what keeps us floating. And, my sponsors, Food City, Quality Heat and Air, Allison Racing Supplies, Blue Ridge Mountain Properties, my family, my crew. Just God give us to take advantage of everything we've done, and it's been a blessed ride and humbling ride.
Well, tell Aaron to get you some more money together so you can go ahead and get to Martinsville and take that one in there too. All right.
Well, we'll be there. We'll be there for sure. If the water don't rise, and we'll make it up there.
All right, man. Thanks so much for being with us, and we're gonna get you back on here again real soon. But keep winning the race and win up there at Martinsville for us, man.
That's their plan, brother.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Say, bud.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think he had a decent run the last time at Martinsville. I think he was top 10, or he was running 8th or 7th or 8th before he got in one of those 15 wrecks in the last 2 laps.
All right, let's real quick go through the Smith Signs and Gravels weekend roundup, all the race winners from this past weekend. In the Cup Series, Martin Truex Jr. won at Richmond. Noah Gregson won the Xfinity race. The modified win went to Ryan Preece. The ARCA West.
That was a surprise on the modified win.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Taylor Gray got the ARCA West win. Down at Florence, South Carolina, late model race number 1, Ryan Glinsky got the win. Late model race number 2, Matt Linker got the win. And the champion for the late models down at Florence is Matt Cox. And in the Bando race down there, our buddy Riley Music got the win.
Smoked him. He was like qualifying, he was a half a second faster than the second place. It's like, damn. It's pretty bad in the damn Bando.
Speaking of Kingsport, the late model winner at Kingsport this past weekend, Nick Williams. He is also the champion at Kingsport for this year. And our buddy, well, not our buddy, but what you and I talked about a couple times, Brad Teague raced in that race. He finished ninth in his
And
first
how
race in
old
a
is he?
long time.
70.
He's in his 70s, and that was a heck of a race for him. At Motor Mile this past weekend, late model race
or
number
80s. I mean, your age.
Motor Mile late model race number 1, Ryan Wilson. He also won the late model race number 2, and the late model champion was Kres Van Dyke. At Wake County, Ethan Johnson got the first win in the first late model race at Wake County. Pretty controversial race there. Zach got dumped, and
Oh, yeah. We
there
talked
was
about
a
that.
little action after the race was over with. But I ain't gonna say nothing about Dwayne Skittle being in little everything. Late model race number 2, Zach Lightfoot did get the win in race number 2. Up at Dominion this past weekend, late model race number 1, Mason Bailey. Late model race number 2, Doug Barnes. And the late model champion at Dominion this year is Peyton Sellers. In the Legends Series, Tommy Jackson Jr., after a long layoff, came back and won the race. And I understand he was pretty stout winning that race, too.
I think every time he gets in a damn thing, he's pretty stout.
In the Virginia Racer, Mike Gano got the championship. At Tri-County, the Cars Tour was at Tri-County. How about the late model win? Minnie Tyrell got the late model win.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. I mean, it's his third season in there. And his first late model. I mean, of course, he went from arena cars to late model.
Yeah, that's almost going from a truck to a modified.
Someone else used to run arena too, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, they went to Pro Sixes. So I don't know what the arena cars.
it's a big step too, huh?
And he still thinks he's in the arena car.
No, they haven't had to flip them over yet.
It's true.
They've had to pick him off the track a couple times.
All of us have.
In the super late model race, Chandler Smith won at Tri-County. Hickory, one of those Rev developmental drivers, a new guy that I had never heard of, LeVar Scott got the win. And then late model race number 2, Blake Lothian got the win. We discussed the NASCAR schedule earlier. The NASCAR schedule will be announced tomorrow for next year. Some of the highlights I've already heard about is Gateway is getting a race. Pocono is losing a race. And the Clash is going to be run at the LA Coliseum.
That's going to be interesting.
That still surprises me that they're going to do that, because I'm like him. Why not do it at Bowman Gray? If you're going to do something like that, do Bowman Gray.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the same premise.
you would think, a Bowman Gray, a Greenville, somewhere like that, the roots of the
Yeah.
sport, that would be a Nashville, the fairground. That would be a phenomenal time to
Well,
bring
there
that
was some
track
talk
back.
about that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a great race to do it at.
Or maybe the All-Star race being at Nashville, I think, has been the talk.
The COTA race in Texas is going to be moved to March. And Richmond will have both of its races in the regular season. They will not have a playoff race next year. All right, this week's North Carolina 811 GAC Great American Company's Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News Driver of the Week, Minnie Tyrell.
Yeah. Well, it's well deserving. I mean, they put a lot into it.
Minnie Tyrell, so I'll be
Brandon Butler has worked his butt off to try to get that.
I'm gonna try to get with Minnie Tyrell to get him his plaque and everything too. So that's a pretty big deal. So that's the news.
Mhm.
And I want to appreciate Brad Adams for coming out here and being with us. I know you sat here for a long time and just kind of listened to all of us talk, but
There's some interesting stuff.
we went everything from politics to
Didn't
dirt
see all
racing.
that coming.
Politics, dirt racing, go all the way around the circle there.
That was just in the opener too.
Right. Right out of the gate.
So anyway,
Yeah.
that was a pretty big deal. So I want to thank everybody for being with us. John Schneider, want to thank Barry Rogers for helping me get John on the show. He and I talked, I don't know how many times we talked over the last week and got to get him on the show. I really appreciate that. And we had
Did you have anybody like ask you, was John going to be here? I had a couple of people was like, is John going to be in the studio? Because if so,
Nobody asked me that.
I'm going to come by the show. I was like, he's not all that anymore. I'm like, no, he's not. But this says the person that says they're going to come by.
No, no, I didn't have that, but that would have scared me if he had showed up. We probably had the front straightaway here loaded with people.
I don't know if they're letting him on airplanes.
That's a good point.
You're right there. It might be an interesting situation there. Anyway,
Just drive to General Lee here, right?
next week, right now, I know we got Mike Cheek is going to be with us next week. He was worked at the Petty Enterprises for a long time, did a lot of their painting and all that stuff, and now he's doing Grumpy's Performance. So we'll have him with us next week, and we're going to have some other people, but I haven't got confirmation on any of that yet. So,
all right.
But I appreciate John Snyder being with us, and that was a big deal for us. So anyway, Brad Adams gonna win the modified race again.
Is that your prediction?
We're gonna try.
Hey, look,
we're putting pressure on you.
We had a modified race out here one night, and I was up here, and there was 2 or 3 other people in here at the time, and somebody made the comment, all right, who do you think's gonna win the modified race? I said, Brad Adams. I think Brad's gonna win. You think Brad's gonna win the race? Yeah. He didn't.
No.
He didn't win the race. Matter of fact, I think you were in the top 10, but it looked like you struggled a little bit the night that happened. And
we've had some bad luck, but I mean, look, the first 35 laps of last year, you probably had 8 or 9 guys that could have led laps in just the first segment. So everyone that shows up to this race, just like Martinsville, has a good shot.
Broke on your car and you welded something up and then come back and finish second or third?
Third.
I was like, what the hell?
Christopher was over there welding the shot mount up, and look, I wanted to park the car.
Yeah, he tried.
I wanted to park the car,
Sean.
and
it
it turns out
let's go home.
Well, I'd have been on probably the same
that whole
boat.
night, and y'all talked about it on here. That whole night is what ended up getting us second points, because we only beat Godovic by 1 point, and it was all based off of just that one night. We broke all the front suspension off the car, both lower control arms, both tie rod ends, all the bolts, the left front shock mount, everything in that one wreck, and we got it all fixed before the second race and ended up third. So you can't ever quit with any of these guys you run against, because they're all good.
Right. I mean that's an accomplishment.
Yeah,
really.
all right, well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks to everybody tuning in, share, and like our show. We'll see you next week.